More flavor, can she?
Fatality.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't imagine him being DLC and like a single person on Earth being like, "Woo! Yeah, can't wait." Like,
Only people that play that character.
I never come across him.
Me either.
Like,
Like,
ever.
I don't think I've ever played that character. Maybe one time.
Yeah, right? Like, he's so rare that, like, I don't know. Waste of a slot. Anyways.
Welcome to round 25, and welcome to our first Thanksgiving episode.
That's right.
Happy Thanksgiving. This is our Thanksgiving episode. Welcome to round 25 of Wake Up 3. We are your hosts, Molly
And Cam. And we are a fighting game podcast from a couple who loves fighting games.
We usually start with a mix-up. I've had this mix-up cooking for a while. Basically since last week. I knew...
You're going to keep that dead air where I just stared at you without saying anything?
Probably. I knew that I wanted to do something in theme with Thanksgiving and something a bit fun. So, welcome to the first mix-up of its kind. Know the matchup.
Oh, the matchup.
Yeah,
Okay.
So we're doing a little Thanksgiving potluck. I'm really bad at turning you away from the conversation of something I don't want talked more about. Because you asked me if I was doing this as a mix-up, and I said no. But this is the mix-up.
Okay.
We're bringing Thanksgiving dinner. So each character has a dish. I have a bank of 7 characters from Mortal Kombat. And I have a list of 7 dishes to bring to our traditional Thanksgiving feast.
Okay, interesting. It's exciting.
Now, I've chosen who I think should bring each dish, and I'm going to have you do the same, and then we'll see if your mix-up matches up with mine. All right, first dish is turkey. And then we have stuffing.
My favorite.
Mashed potatoes. Number 3.
Mashed potatoes. My other favorite.
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes. Mashed potatoes. Sweet potatoes.
And next we have rolls. You gotta have bread. Gravy
Gravy's
has a spot of its own.
Gravy's a dish.
It's important. You need to have gravy at Thanksgiving.
That is true.
And then the last dish is cranberries.
Cranberries.
Somebody has to bring cranberries.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right.
Now you get to figure out who's bringing what.
I thought you were going to say some kind of pie. Like a pumpkin pie.
Oh, I didn't do dessert. Maybe next year. Next time, perhaps. Garrus is sadly not in the bank of people. Now
Garrus wasn't invited to Thanksgiving.
I didn't want to choose them based on my own whims, because I already did that with the food. So what I did to get this bank of 7 Mortal Kombat characters was just open my Twitter, and the first 7 Mortal Kombat characters I saw mentioned by name, that's who made it in.
Wow. Okay, that's
so this would be it's like a little bit random, but also maybe a little bit telling of our time right now. The characters that you get to assign to these dishes are Kitana, Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Shang Tsung.
Who invited him?
How'd he get in here? Tremor.
Alright.
That's a little flavor of now for you.
Yeah, that like dates the episode.
Yep. Kenshi. And then last but not least, Sub-Zero. So get to work. Assign these people their dishes for our Thanksgiving potluck. Turkey first? Who's bringing turkey for you?
Liu Kang brings the turkey.
Okay.
Because I think he views himself as most important, and he views the turkey as most important.
I put Kitana for turkey.
Okay.
And I did so because she does have basically 2 pretty good carving knives in those fans when they're like folded up.
That's a good point.
She can just use those to slice up the turkey pretty good for everybody.
I don't even think about that. That's a good point.
How about the stuffing?
Kung Lao brings the stuffing because I think he probably was just right there with Liu Kang making the stuffing inside the turkey. So he like didn't really have to do that much. He just had to put it in the turkey and then like tag along. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, I chose Kung Lao for stuffing because Kung Lao usually has like a really quick series of punches in his moveset.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he would just be good at quickly dicing up all those little ingredients that make up stuffing. And I feel like he'd probably make a pretty good stuffing.
That's
and
funny.
pretty quickly.
That's funny. We choose the same character, but for very different reasons.
I feel like they both work.
Yeah,
So
mine
it's
was because
fun.
he's more of a kind of a slacker, and he's just like, I'll just
sidekick.
stuff this thing in. That way I can just kind of tag along. I
The
don't have to do
second
much.
best.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, how about for mashed potatoes?
Mashed potatoes. Sub-Zero brings the mashed potatoes.
Oh, why is that?
No reason, really. It was one of the last things that I filled out, honestly.
Okay,
I
I guess
couldn't
they
really-
kind of resemble snow.
I was just thinking, like, do you ever have mashed potatoes that are just a little bit cold in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was picturing.
I feel like they do get cold quickly, like
Yeah.
more quickly than other foods on the plate, perhaps.
Probably. I feel like
You
usually
need the
have to eat 'em
gravy
first.
you need the gravy to heat them up.
Yeah. So I think-
Interesting. Okay, just because. Okay, Sub-Zero came to
I was-
mind last for you.
Yeah, I just kept thinking about, like, sometimes you get, like, some not so great mashed potatoes, and it's just because there's kind of, like, ice in the middle or something. Like, they're not warmed up enough, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I could see Sub-Zero just bringing icy mashed potatoes to the party.
I put Tremor in charge of mashed potatoes because I feel like he could get him really good and mashed.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He could.
I feel like he was the first one I knew for sure. Like, yep.
You were thinking a lot of physical things, and I feel like I was thinking more, like, character traits or something.
Yeah.
We went very different on this whole thing. It's kind of fun.
It is.
It's interesting.
Okay. This is going to be interesting, I think. Sweet potatoes?
Sweet potatoes, I put Katana. I just thought, like, she probably wouldn't even really necessarily understand what a sweet potato was. Because she's
What
not
about
like
the
an
other
earth realmer.
What about the other foods?
Like, maybe she would get it. I don't know.
Okay.
For some reason, I was just thinking, like, sweet potato. She might not even get it, so she might just bring, like, potatoes that have been sweetened.
Oh, okay.
In some
So you're just
fashion.
hoping that Katana fucks up the pot.
I feel like I could see it where she just shows up kind of confused. Like, I brought these sweetened potatoes. Where do you want me to put them? And everybody would be like, ha, 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 you weird outworlder, you know?
Silly outworlder.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I once again had very different reasons. I have Sub-Zero bringing the sweet potatoes. Just because we're currently living in the Bihan era of Sub-Zero, and I just feel like it would be funny for Bihan to be cooking up a little batch of sweet potatoes for the potluck. I just like to imagine it.
Fair. Yeah, that would be kind of funny. I just imagine him, like,
Such
grimacing.
a tender dish.
I just imagine him, like, the opposite, like, grimacing with the mashed potatoes. Like, I brought these. And, like, the bowl is, like, frosty from his hand.
On to the rolls. Who do you have for rolls?
Kenshi.
Kenshi.
Yeah. He's going to show up late. And then they're just going to be, like, the most basic rolls ever.
Okay, so maybe like some frozen balls of dough that he just threw in the
Yeah,
oven.
like, he's just going to... Yeah, just grab, like, a little baggie of, like, King's Hawaiian or something.
Oh,
It's
so he's not going to even use the oven.
Right,
He's just going
it's
to
like-
bring a bag of rolls.
yeah, it's like, these are fine, but, like, you didn't do anything, man. Thanks a lot, Kenshi. You know what I mean?
Well, for rolls, I have Shang Tsung.
Interesting. Okay.
And this is because I feel like in my mind, I just have an image of baking and magic going together throughout
funny.
various media in my life. So,
I can see it. Well, that brings us to cranberries, the final ingredient.
gravy. You forgot about gravy.
Oh my god. You're right.
So who's bringing gravy?
Tremor brings the gravy. and he brings like so much gravy.
Oh.
Like a ton of gravy.
Okay.
Like you saw that boulder that he carried in the in like his cameo and carries out and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, he's just thinking big all the time, and he brings in like a lot of gravy,
Like a boat,
like a boatload of gravy, like a bathtub full of gravy. Not a bathtub because that would be gross.
But a bathtub-sized amount of gravy,
yeah,
probably.
like, hey, I brought this bathtub-sized tub of gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants in on it? He'd be like drinking it. He would be like dipping a cup in there, and like an enlarged rock hand that's shaped like a spoon.
Yeah, a huge rock ladle. That's
ridiculous.
Just Tremor's hand.
Tremor's weird, right? He's got to be the weirdest ninja. I feel like
Tremor... sure he is. I feel like he's got to be too.
I keep clicking my pen.
He's an Earth man.
Yeah, he's like an Earth guy. I don't know, something about it. I just feel like he would be like the strangest ninja in Mortal Kombat.
Probably, yeah. Well, Reptile might give him a run for his money sometimes, but...
Yeah, and this new bug eating era.
Thanks for bringing the gravy, Tremor.
Mm-hmm.
Kenshi will be bringing the gravy for my potluck because Sento is a good stirring utensil.
Okay, so he's just gonna use Sento. Does the ghost have a say in this?
Oh.
Does the ghost just
ghost
come...
probably like whispers in his ear like, more flavor, Kenshi.
Oh, I was thinking about like, does the ghost just get like stirred along in the gravy?
Oh.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Let me out of this thing.
Yeah, what? All right, well, finally we have to bring the cranberries.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
It is Thanksgiving after all. Maybe
Thanks.
not everybody wants to bring cranberries, but we're bringing cranberries.
Yeah.
Well, who do you got?
I've got Shang bringing the cranberries. Shang Tsung, and he just grabs the store-bought canned cranberries.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess thanks, Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
I'm having Liu Kang do cranberries because it's like the exact opposite of what your reasoning was with him bringing the turkey for you. I'm having Liu Kang bring cranberries because it's something you can barely fuck up. Okay. And he's done enough of that. So you
don't trust him at all.
Yeah, yes. After MK1, Liu Kang,
great.
you're just bringing cranberries, bud. Yeah, do you eat cranberries for Thanksgiving? Let us know. I usually just spread some on my... somewhere. Turkey? I don't know. I feel like I just put a few on there because it's something I only have with that meal at Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us in our little potluck mix-up this week for something fun. One matchup.
Oh, that was really fun. And that was just Kung Lao, right?
Just Kung Lao. Isn't that interesting?
That's fun.
I think that's especially interesting because Kung Lao is a character that we both have kind of seriously played at different points in NRS times. So that's fun.
Yeah, he was like your first main in 10,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he was like my first in 11.
Right, which was like a surprise to me at the time.
He just felt good to me. I don't know what it was.
Mm-hmm. Very different spreads for our potluck lineups with one thing in common, and that is the second best shall win. All right, well, next up on our little episode for you today is our weekend fighting games. Not much has changed, but we do have a couple of things to address. I think the first being that Tremor is officially here as of Monday of this week.
Yes.
And what a fun guy. What did we count? 9 different moves?
Yeah, he's got 9 moves, which is pretty nuts.
That is a lot. So
I feel like most cameos have 2 or 3, sometimes 4 if you're lucky.
Right. So he has got a lot going on. We played a few sets with him with our mains. We were just testing him out, seeing what he does. And I came to the conclusion that he is cool for sure, but is he for me? Probably not, because he's mostly summon.
Yeah.
And I'm an ambush style for sure.
Yeah, I don't want to lose control of my character for like any amount of time. I want to be able to keep moving like while my cameo comes out.
Right, and the more we played these sets with Tremor, the more I was just adjusting my gameplay to a summon style cameo, which you would have to do obviously, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it.
It was making me think of playing my character completely differently, And frankly, I just don't want to switch it up. I don't know if that's like a big thing to anybody else to have to make major changes like that, or maybe it's not major.
I don't know. I totally get what you mean though, because I thought the character himself was very cool, but I can't imagine myself playing him like long term, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For kind of the same reasons as you. I don't want to lose control of my character for even a second during the summons. Street Fighter 6 finally showed off all of Outfit 3. That was on Tuesday night, and about time, right?
Yeah, about time, yes. And yeah. I think everybody's very, very excited. There's a lot of great options for so many characters.
Yeah,
like
most
it's
of them.
Almost like who doesn't have a good option? But let's talk about our favorites. Obviously, I like Jamie best, and then Jury's great, and DJ. What are your favorites?
My top 3 were kind of the same, but just a little bit different. They were actually Jury, DJ, and Cammy.
Oh, Cammy?
Yeah, I don't really play Cammy, but I liked that long jacket. I thought that was pretty cool, and I liked the way it looked when it was like on screen during her actual animations for her gameplay.
Yeah, I did like that one too.
Like during her spiral arrow, it looked cool to see it in a long jacket.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. Aside from that, there were definitely a couple other outfit 3s that I thought were pretty darn cool that almost made the cut. Like Jamie was up there. I also really liked Kimberly's.
Mm-hmm.
What were your other ones aside from like your top 3?
I've seen people say they don't like this outfit, which I completely understand. But something about the Ken outfit I love because I don't know. I feel like Ken is. I just kind of make fun of him in this game.
Yeah.
As he currently is. I feel like he looks kind of like a big idiot.
Gotta do this.
Yeah. This costume kind of gives him a different vibe, if you will. And I'm here for it. I just like it. Like, it's dumb, but in a good way.
Yeah.
To me.
It's like flashy, like glam rock star or something. I don't know what it is exactly.
I've seen a lot of hate for it already.
It's kind of fun.
I know I'm on like an iffy side here, but I don't care. I like it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's silly, and that's why I like it.
It's fun. How about that Ryu outfit though?
Oh, that one's fun too.
Ryu from the streets.
It's funny.
Yeah, he's got like white jeans on and flip flops.
I love that he keeps the sandals. Yep.
Yeah, that's really fun. I like that. And that jacket is apparently from one of his endings from a previous game. Chun-Li gives it to him, so that was kind of a fun little Easter egg that I found out online.
I do love Manon's hair. She gets fun little ringlets.
Yeah, it looks like it's a lot longer.
Angular model cut that she usually has. So she gets long curls, and it's just cute. It's fun.
It is, yeah. It's cool. I'm obsessed with the Jury one. I love it. It looks so good in action. I can't wait
to see the other colors.
Yeah, definitely. Did you have any others that were kind of like on the other end of the spectrum? Like
ones where it's like,
this is kind of lame after all this time.
Lily's really didn't stand out to me.
I thought it was kind of fun. I liked it.
It just didn't stand out.
I liked the hat on her back.
I
liked the way it bounced around.
That was probably like
stuff.
The best part of it.
I thought, I mean, we've already seen Giles, but I thought even just seeing it in action was just kind of, wow, this is lame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, him and Zangief.
Yeah, Zangief's was kind of, this is fine. It's just a suit. Dalsim and JP.
Oh, yeah, I really
Not
didn't
cool.
like
Not cool. I dislike JP's.
Do you think you'll go back to playing some Street Fighter 6 once these come out?
Man, I might have to.
I might have to as well, TBH.
I
might get the itch.
It's been a while, so I'm going to be rusty for sure. But I'm going to want that Jury outfit so much that I think I'm just going to jump in. And that's happening on December 1st, so it's pretty soon. Very excited.
What else do we have? Do we have any other things to say about our weekend fighting games?
Hinako was released for King of Fighters 15, the very small schoolgirl that is into sumo.
Mm-hmm.
She throws her opponent around and is super strong. She's out. Pretty excited to play Hinako eventually. She looks fun. So I think that's really all I had for this week.
Aside from all that, yeah, we've just been doing more Combat League. I'm still keeping track. I've got my stats going. The stat I'm going to give you this week from my Season 2 Combat League is, so far, I've had just 2 cameo switches.
I think that's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty rare that people will switch their cameo out, I think.
my little stat for you. So
Fun stat.
we're going to keep going on that. I think you're like my highest ranked friend on there right now.
Yeah.
So
moving
up.
I'm just tearing right through the ranks right now.
Moving up. But let's get into our little episode for you today. So we're just kind of taking a moment to reflect as it is Thanksgiving. And we're just going to give thanks for a little list of things that we each have come up with.
Yeah.
Related to fighting games, of course.
Right.
So, do you want to start off?
Yeah. My first thing that I wrote down was actually MKX. I wanted to thank Mortal Kombat X for just being there, just in general, just always being there as like a, hey, you want to play MKX? Kind of fallback game.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I could probably say that like anytime, any day. And there's like a 50% chance that you'll be like, yeah, all right, let's do it.
I am pretty open to saying yes to MKX. Yes.
Yeah, it's just that game for us, I think. And especially for like the first half of the year when none of these new games had released yet. Mm-hmm. I just feel like it was always fun going back to MKX and just, we had no idea when MK1 was going to come out because it hadn't even been announced yet. But I feel like we were at that time just like heavily talking about like who's going to make it in the next game. Is it going to be Reptile, Quan Chi? So yeah, MKX is, I guess, the first thing I wanted to give thanks to for the year in terms of fighting games because it's always there. It's a comfort game and I love it.
All right, cool. My first thing I want to give thanks to is Cameo Jax.
Okay, yeah.
I have to give a little shout out to Cam and I's current cameo, Jax.
Yeah.
And I really have to give my gratitude to Jax because he's more than a cameo to us. He's a co-star.
Kind of slaps.
He does. He very much slaps. So that's my first Thanksgiving shout out is to my cameo Jax.
I love it. My second thing was in June, we started Wake Up 3, which I think is pretty exciting. Maybe I'm biased, but
that's definitely on my list.
Okay. Yeah, we started Wake Up 3 in June, and I feel like it's been a lot of fun for one thing. Yeah, the things that bring you joy, you can put those off when life gets in the way. But having the podcast has kind of reminded us weekly, take a little bit of time out for yourself and, just play some fighting games.
Next on my list of things I'm thankful for is, once again, Costume 3. I am thankful that we have Costume 3 in sight, within reach, and we are going to have it this year, baby.
Yeah, like 2 weeks from now.
Very excited.
Next up, I actually have Street Fighter 6 coming out in June.
Okay, cool.
Same time as our podcast. Those two things kind of went hand in hand, so that's like a good marker, I guess, a nice moment in time. And you had never played Street Fighter before that, but we ended up playing a ton, and I still can't believe that I got you into Street Fighter somehow.
Destiny.
Like a year ago.
Destiny.
Even. Yeah, a year ago or 6 months ago, just before the game came out even, I remember you saying like, I'll never touch that game.
Yeah, I will not be playing Street Fighter.
Street Fighter 6 coming out and then just getting into Street Fighter more with you has been a lot of fun.
All right, next on my list of things I'm thankful for this year in fighting games is to be living in the Bihan era, baby.
It's a good era.
MK1 came out this year, and Bihan is back in the role of Sub-Zero, and it couldn't feel better. I mean, it could, but it feels pretty. It feels pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not gonna say it couldn't feel better. It could always be better. We can always improve, right?
We could always see more Bihan.
Oh yeah, we could have more. We could have a lot more. Story expansion. We'll see.
We could have two Bihans.
We could.
Let's get a second Bihan from another timeline and have them both like die and merge together and become Noob Saibot that way, where it's literally two Bihans.
Oh my god. Okay.
Anyways.
Next on your list of things, we're getting down to the wire.
Yeah, next up.
Getting down to the bone.
Next up, MK1 finally releasing. We've been looking forward to another Mortal Kombat game for years now. It feels like it. Maybe it's only been like a year and a half or so. But it feels like we've been looking forward to this one forever. And once we got the announcement, it was only a matter of months before it came out. The countdown was a lot of fun. But then the release comes and it's great. I love it. It may not be perfect, but I'm not really here to talk about any of the negative stuff right now. I want to be thankful for what we do have. And I feel like the game itself is super solid and super fun. I'm just thankful that we've got that now.
Mm-hmm.
And that Baraka's in it. And that Quan Chi will be here soon.
Sounds good. My last two are more of a broad thing to be thankful for, but my next one is new fighting games this year. So for me, I'm just going to shout out Street Fighter. Once again, I had not played it, but I am thankful that I got into it through playing 6, and I feel like I picked up a cool new series that I really enjoy. So I'm thankful for that. The other new fighting game to me this year was Samurai Showdown that we just talked about last week. So go give Round 24 a listen. If you haven't heard, Samurai Showdown is a super cool game that I just very recently got to play for the first time. So I just want to say I'm thankful for that one. And it's very fun. It's already very near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, it's a blast. It actually kind of ties in with my final one as well.
Oh, okay.
My final one here is actually just, I'm thankful for the fact that you and I have been able to go back and just play all these old retro games together in kind of a new way. Like, we're doing it in a way where we're thinking about the mechanics of them more and what makes them unique when we go back and actually play them. And it's been super fun to do that. And I mean, yeah, these are all games we've never really played at all. Samurai Showdown 1 through 5. We played Street Fighter 1, 2, and 3. And I'm sure we're going to have a ton of other like retro fighters that we'll play in the future. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love doing that. And I'm looking forward to exploring more of these games with you.
Lastly, I am thankful this year to expand my involvement in the FGC, namely starting this podcast 6 months ago. What would our Thanksgiving episode be without saying thank you for listening? Thank you for choosing to be here and to Wake Up 3. Thank you to everyone listening in 2023.
Yeah.
We will see you next week.
Yeah.
For our regularly scheduled content.
Yes. And next week we'll be doing a character bio. It is a character that I am very excited about. It's one of my favorite characters. So
see if you can guess who that is.
Yeah,
See how well you know Cam.
I will leave it at that, but it is one of my favorite characters. So I look forward to covering that next week. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Wake Up 3. You can follow along on Twitter at Wakeupthreefgc or on YouTube and Spotify at Wakeup3. I'm your host Cam, and you can find me at Big Ruck Online on all social media.
And I'm your host Molly, and you can find me on Twitter at Concut, that's KAHNKUT, or on PlayStation, that's Jan Michaels.
This is Wake Up 3 signing off.
Bye. I'm going to have Kenshi handle my gravy because that's a good thing to say or not. I'm going to have Kenshi bring...
Oh my god.
Kenshi will be bringing the gravy.